Okay, guys, so this week we watched Cyborg on Blu-ray.
Yeah, we stepped it up a notch.
Yeah, just a little bit. This movie is weird. It's got Jean-Claude doing Jean-Claude things, whooping ass, killing,
Doesn't
doing
dance
splits.
though. He does not dance.
Doesn't dance.
He doesn't really talk a whole lot.
Yeah, he has very little lines.
But, I mean, he kicks a lot. He does a lot of kicking.
He does do a lot of Actually, the first time you see him in the movie, the first thing he does is kick somebody.
That is not gonna happen.
It's my go-to racism.
She got some kicks. Is that her? Oh, no.
Come on.
Hey, goddamn.
Only one man can kick like that.
Our hero's name in this movie
is the hero and the antagonist.
The hero's name is Gibson Rickenbacker.
Right.
It's a great name.
Yes.
Now, our villain, his name is Fender Tremolo.
Yes.
Dude, I was pulling for this fucking movie, man. Like, out of the gate.
Yeah.
I was just like, damn, I want this to be really good. And, dude, War Child from Point Break. Like,
Yeah.
Are his eyes really... this is real...
Oh, I want to believe it.
I want to believe it.
Yes.
And they're called.
My baby has the bluest eyes.
Yeah.
Wait, this thing starts off just in like a battle, right?
He's running
It
away.
starts off in the two... So there's an android.
Cyborg.
A cyborg.
What's the
Cyborg.
name of the movie?
She's the only
Yeah.
cyborg. It's not called android.
It's called Cyborg.
So there's this android, and she's running away with this guy.
Come on, Pearl! It's clear! I think we lost Fender and his pirates.
That's how it starts off. You have no really like lead in. No, you do. I'm lying. You have a lead in, and it's the bad guy saying basically the first line that he has in the movie, where he's like, "I like this world, and I like the."
Yeah, because
I don't remember that. I don't remember that at all.
That. He's like, I like the way this world is.
Yeah.
I like the misery. The world could be changed. I like this world. Go to hell. Been there.
Well, here's the thing, so the plot of
It's
this,
a weird movie.
the plot is literally, you have to get the cyborg lady to Atlanta
Yeah, her name's
To cure-
Prophet Pearl.
to cure the plague that no one has in this movie.
I think it's because people are like dying from the plague. You don't really see anybody have the plague because they died from it.
Yeah, but nobody's sick or anything.
Yeah,
Let her go!
To Atlanta.
To cure the plague with the information that she's carrying.
there's a lot of things I don't,
I don't
remember
know,
about this
but there
movie.
was
I
a lot
kind
of
of
shit
blacked
that
out
you're
during
just
a lot of
like-
this movie.
You're basically just like, you're waiting for fights, basically.
Yeah,
Or
to this movie's credit, there is a lot of fights.
There is a lot of
Yeah.
fights, but there's long pauses between
and they
those
are
fights.
not well choreographed.
And
but
they're just running through fields.
running in the sewers.
Running
but
in the
here's
sewers.
what you have like that brings it back together is, the sets were like.
It's all
there.
filmed outside.
Yeah, but I mean, like the costumes were costumes.
Yeah.
The hair was awesome.
Yeah.
Whoever did the hair and the costumes on this movie, who also choreographed the fight scenes. 'cause
Yeah.
that's how.
It may be an apocalypse,
Bad it
so
is.
we don't have to look.
Oh,
back.
are you saying
Every
Are
time.
you saying it's so bad that like the hairstylist also choreographed the fight scenes?
I feel like Jean-Claude Van Damme just went. Just wait for me to kick you.
Yeah. Yeah.
There was
Like,
that one.
just look at me, and if you think I'm gonna kick you,
Right.
There's
That's
that
probably
one
gonna
part
happen.
when Jean-Claude Van Damme was down on one knee, and that guy runs up to him, he grabs him, and just throws him on the
Yeah,
floor
he's like
behind him.
lazily pushes him.
slightly pushes him. Yeah, there's a
Yeah.
lot of that
Concrete
going
burn.
on.
After the henchmen chase the cyborg lady, and they kill the guy that she was with, right?
By cutting off his head.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's right. That's right. They
for
cut his
sure.
head off.
And
That's
they-
right.
Squad.
Remove this blood.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah. Shark boy.
Coat me, bitch.
Yeah. Come on, jive turkeys.
I want to kiss myself.
Yeah.
Whenever it's first revealed that she's a cyborg, and
Oh.
like that face, that eerie face, it's just like
It was
a
like
really
a
bad
little bit
animatronic.
because there was like this movie had a little bit of a budget because it was when Van Damme was kind of like doing all right, I guess.
Yeah, it was 89. Van Damme was
Yeah.
a star at this
Yeah,
point.
so like there was a little bit of money in it.
I'm a cyborg. They created me to retrieve data from a computer system here in the city.
So they like basically made it like a 45-minute movie and then made it like 6 hours long. It wasn't 6 hours
So
long,
like,
but it felt
and that
6 hours
all
long.
these flashback scenes like remind him of his humanity.
Don't know if I really trust you.
Don't care.
Don't know if there's really any difference between slingers and the pirates that killed my Paul.
Which is why he starts to help
But you
out
never
the
really
main,
like.
the
There's
chick
no
in this
really
movie, you know?
defining. I mean, yeah, the shit with the people dying. So like, basically, he goes with this family minus the dad, because it shows them burying the dad, or it shows them. At
Well,
the
no,
dad's grave.
because remember he rescues some random woman, and then this is when the flashbacks start.
Yeah.
Because this woman paid him to get her through the Badlands with her children.
Yeah.
And then
Or
Van
out of
Damme.
the city. That's what it was.
Yeah,
out
and
of
then
the city.
and then Van Damme grows close to this woman, and then they settle on a house together.
Yeah.
And then he moves in with her.
Yeah.
And then that's whenever the henchmen from the very beginning show up, kill his family, and kidnap his
Right.
daughter.
So, but-
and they
and-
drop Van Damme down a well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we keep seeing flashbacks
when
of
you-
Van Damme with the
when you
wife.
start the movie.
Are they hanging by barbed wire?
Yeah. Takes more than barbed wire to hold Van Damme down.
Good thing that woman and child broke my fall.
Yeah. And he like doesn't need a ladder or anything to climb out of a well. He just does it.
He was doing the
Just Van
splits all the way
Damme.
up.
Yeah, he probably was. Yeah.
That's why his ankle hurts right now.
I guess they really did break his fall because they're dead.
Yeah.
He's not even hurt or anything. Like that barbed wire didn't even hurt him.
Movie, you're basically already to where Van Damme is like looking for.
He's trying to get revenge.
These henchmen, yeah.
Which
he's-
is why he
he's after
doesn't.
revenge.
Which is why he's hesitant to help the girl, the main chick in the movie.
Tell me something. I tried to kill you. So why did you stay with me while I was knocked out?
I want to
it
bang
goes
you.
against your hard-ass style.
It's because I felt sorry for you.
I will give this to Van Damme though, to his credit. In this movie, he turned down the sex scene.
I like spurs, really.
I've got a real
Scars, man.
big one.
Oh no, that's my butthole.
Yeah, but keep going. So
Yeah,
he
he
starts
did.
to take
No,
his
but-
shirt off and shit, and he's like, "No," and he wraps the blanket
Yeah.
around her, and then he starts to think about his wife. Whoa, those looked rancid. They did. They looked a little used. He never bangs that chick, so I was like, "Wow."
Maybe.
Yeah, even she was surprised.
Yeah.
She was like, "Oh
She
shit.
woke up the next day like, "Whoa."
Yeah.
Wow."
I don't really remember any plot progression after.
Well,
that.
the beginning was the android gets captured, and then
Cyborg.
And then Cyborg. The cyborg gets captured. Okay, so
spread.
yeah, literally,
Yeah.
the cyborg gets captured. Van Damme finds a woman.
Yeah.
They go like on a quest together to go to Atlanta.
Yeah.
He is hesitant to take her
The lost city of
because
Atlanta.
he doesn't want her to get hurt.
Right.
Then he begrudgingly takes her with him.
Right.
Promises
Yeah.
her she'll never get hurt.
Falls in love
She's
with her.
constantly getting hurt
Yeah.
because these henchmen just keep showing back
Ultimately,
up.
She dies.
Like Van Damme fights the same guys like 6
Well,
times.
the
Yeah,
whole
and they're
movie is
constantly
one long
chasing
chase
him.
scene
yeah,
It really
yeah.
is.
It's
until
also,
it just comes to a head at the end.
Also,
and
let's
he
talk
just
about
fights him
how
at different
he-
points, like in Atlanta or
how he-
on the trip to Atlanta.
next
Wait,
day-
wait. But before we get to that, we have to talk about like the sewer part. Because
that was a very long sewer scene.
yeah, literally like
It reminded me of that one campaign we played, and you made us go through the sewers for like 45 minutes.
that sounds like something I would do. I do like to tread through the sewers.
Yeah.
He's like summoning Inya.
Yeah. He's spraying to a fucking sewer drive.
Whoa! I'm not gonna lie, I didn't see that one coming.
Knew it had to come somewhere though. Yeah. Right in the old kisser. And this is where we have the one split scene.
I think that might be his most artistic split reveal ever.
Ever. And then he stabbed a man in the mouth with a sword.
Yeah. Then he grabs the chick, goes up the sewer hatch.
So the first 30 minutes of this movie has just been pretty much being chased the whole time, right?
30 minutes? This has been on for like an hour.
Okay.
He's gonna do a roundhouse kick out of the water. I told you, roundhouse kick out of the water. Okay, after they've been chased and they have the little fight scene in the swamp area, they end up in this little area that's got these like old shipwrecked boats or whatever.
Two boats.
Yeah.
The ship.
They're just sitting back there, yeah.
So the henchmen use the, main...
The mast? Is that what it's called?
I think that's called,
yeah.
Yeah.
And,
yes, it is.
Yes. Yes. Mr. Steven.
And then...
They crucify him.
They crucify this motherfucker.
And
I mean, they do. Like, he's like legit, like, crucified, hanging.
He's...
They just crucify Jean-Claude Van Damme?
Yeah.
And he's only slightly pleased about it.
I guess I'll be Jesus now.
Yeah.
I understand.
I mean, he does have the abs to be Jesus.
Yeah.
And the kicks.
Yeah.
Everybody knows Jesus had kicks for days.
Because he's got arrows through his
he's
wrists.
got 2 arrows,
and he's all tied up.
So he can't break it, and he's like, I'll just kick it.
And then the flashback happens, and this is where we get the awesome Van Damme kicking through wood. Because this, I never realized this until we started watching these Van Damme movies. He does this shit a lot.
Yeah.
Because we watched quite a few of these Van Damme movies, and he's always kicking through solid objects.
Yeah.
Yes. Let the hate flow through you, Van Damme. Dude, he's so good at kicking through wood. Like, I didn't realize how many movies he kicks through wood in his movies. Like, I didn't realize how many times he does that in these movies. It's pretty common.
Yeah.
And he does it with this one the same way. He like kicks and kicks and kicks
wood.
and kicks.
And then he stops for a while.
Kicks through the fuck. Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, he gets like he gets like 3/4 of the way through it.
He kicks through hard.
And then he stops.
Yeah. He kicks through.
And then there's another flashback, and then he just powers up and kicks through it again. And that's when it falls.
Yeah, he does do a quick power up.
Yeah. Dude.
Now I'm crucified on the ground.
Now I'm gonna cook in the sun. Like a nice piece of fish. And that's when the chick shows up and cuts him free. But it's just amazing.
And
like
then the next day, his wounds are healed.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and
he
His
was
magical Van Damme powers.
Yeah.
You know?
All you see is like, it looks like cigar burns. He's just like, I'm fine.
The action is nonstop. This movie also does not stop. It just drags on.
It really doesn't. It's just one big fight scene.
I'll tell you, this is probably my least favorite Van Damme movie that I've seen so far.
It had a lot of potential. At the beginning,
I mean,
I thought it was like, it had a lot of cool things that were happening, and then it just like, okay, Now
it
where's
veers
this
off
going?
into all this like.
Well, there was no
humanity
like
bullshit.
there was just no like story progression.
Yeah.
It's like you're gonna do the same thing until the end of the movie.
Yeah, and that's exactly what
and then
happens.
when
I forgot a lot about this movie.
I did
Like,
too.
this is kind of a forgettable
I feel like when I
movie.
thought this was a good movie.
That's why I watched it on Blu-ray. It was
Yeah.
like called Cyborg, and all this shit is like awesome sounding. And this movie fucking sucks.
Is this the first?
I feel like
Blu-ray
when I
movie we've
started
watched?
watching this movie, I was just like really stoned.
Yeah.
And wanted it to be wanted it to be good, and then it ended up like just really disappointing.
as I start to watch most
movies, yeah. And
Boy,
then it ended up just
I think
dragging
we were
on.
I think we were about 30 to 45 minutes into the movie when I went to go take a shit, and I came back outside, and they're like, "Man, you just missed the best part." He pulled
Right.
He pulled a knife out of his boot without
you're
pulling
right.
it
Yeah,
out.
that was the best part of this movie.
and I
But
feel
it
like-
all went downhill after that.
Yeah.
Like it literally just
And I was
like
like-
They blew
that's
their load
when-
too fast.
Yeah,
man.
yeah, exactly.
Oh shit, that was badass. Yeah. Hell yeah. Okay, fuck it. Let's go to the end.
All right.
Yeah. We're in Atlanta.
Jean-Claude. Yeah, they're in Atlanta. They made it to Atlanta.
Well, here's the thing. Like the villains, it says "Welcome to Atlanta." The villains walk up. Jean-Claude Van Damme's already there with a
chilling.
bow and arrow,
Yeah.
like shirtless. It's like
Yeah.
he forgot to pack his shirt.
You think
You know,
he's-
actually,
he's
come to
like-
think of it, he doesn't. He's shirtless through the last.
Oh, yeah.
Up to the point where he's
45
crucified,
minutes?
yeah. From
Well,
where he's
also,
crucified to the
too,
very end, he has
when
no
you
shirt.
see him there with that bow and arrow, and he sends the girl off,
Yeah.
you think that he's like, all right, you go off and you're going to distract them, and then I'm going to
Yeah.
take like a sniper shot with this bow and arrow.
Right. But
Nope, he just fucking
Yeah.
shoots the arrow to announce that he's
Right.
there.
Yeah.
You could have just shot him.
You could have just said, hey, I'm here. You know?
that is
could've
the
just-
only reason he shot that bow and arrow.
Yeah.
And then he throws it down.
Yeah.
And then
then-
puts a knife in his teeth.
Yeah. And then he climbs down the
Look at
ladder,
me.
takes the knife out of his mouth, and then
Puts it right back in.
no, and then it just cuts to him being back on the ladder with the knife in his mouth, climbing down.
Yeah.
And because, you know, who really gives a shit?
Yeah. Yeah, that's when he starts fighting that dude that has the trench coat on, and he like kicks him back into a fire, and the guy catches
Oh yeah,
on
and
fire.
he catches on fire.
And then he kicks the guy again, and he kicks him into a car that's sitting there,
yeah, and then
and he just blows up.
and this is an old like, all, like no
Cadillac.
windows,
Yeah.
no like all. It looks like it's already been burned,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
on fire, and he just like falls into the car,
And he
then
falls in the engine
guy
bay.
blows up.
Yeah, the guy blows up.
the car,
Not the
doesn't blow
car.
up. The
The
guy
guy.
blows up.
And then once this happens, this is when we get, you know, Fender versus Gibson,
Yeah.
The
battle.
the never-ending fight
The
between these
extended
two.
version.
And this fight goes on for quite a while.
Well,
Eventually Van Damme starts getting the upper hand on him. And then that's when Van Damme stabs the fuck out of that
Yeah.
guy and he falls
Yeah,
down.
like directly in the abdomen.
Yeah, well, yeah. I thought it was more like in his kidney, but I guess it could have been his chest.
because
is
he had
bleeding.
blood like on his
Yeah,
chest.
but his
Vital
chest was like
organs
bleeding.
were stabbed.
And then and then that guy is like on the ground. You think he's dead.
Well,
Well, he's like in the water.
Yeah, and well, you think he's dead,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then Van Damme goes up to the girl, his like stepdaughter,
And then it just pops up.
and the guy pops
It's like,
up,
wow.
yeah,
And
just
right
like
into frame.
Yeah.
he just pops up, grabs Van Damme, and throws him through that wall,
And they go
and
into
they're
a
fighting
house.
in like a little shed,
Yeah.
and then that's when Van Damme's beating the fuck out of him, and we kept on seeing this hook in the background, remember?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
hook on the wall.
And
yeah.
that's whenever Van Damme kicks him and like
into
hooks
the
him.
hook.
Well, this is the point where we recommend. Well, this is where we don't recommend this movie to anybody. But I have two things to say about this. If you want to see Van Damme in the rain, watch this. And if you want to see Van Damme act as Jesus and be crucified, watch this.
Rip like Jesus.
I mean, he does have the abs for it, so you know. But I hate this movie. But Pat, would you recommend Cyborg?
I would recommend Cyborg to Nick because I hate Nick.
All right. Which Nick?
All Nicks.
Okay.
Well, Nick, would you recommend Cyborg?
What can I say about Android that hasn't already been said? It was one of my favorite movies that we've watched so far. I just want to thank Nick, for picking this movie out. And thank you for having me.
You're welcome, buddy. Trav, you know what's funny is that they're called Fender and Gibson, and both those companies are well on their way to dying.
Yeah.
I want to blame that on Cyborg. Travis, would you recommend Cyborg?
No. This is way too boring. If you want to fall asleep, you could put Cyborg on.
I kind of almost did.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's...
Because I did. I almost did fall asleep while watching it.
I want to go on record saying that I'm against all the shitty pirate jokes that were made during the recording of this episode.
Talk about
He walked
sex,
the plank.
baby.
What? Nothing to do with it.
Trying to turn it off.
It's just like, I want pirate references. Stop doing Arg. That would have, just saying arg would have made more sense than any of the shit you said. Terrible. Walk the plank. That was the worst one.
Walk the plank, matey.
Right? What the fuck are you talking about?